Hello, everybody. Today we have the next character in the Castle Crashers Custom series with the Vagabond. So, I wanted to try my hand at making a human character that was kind of styled like the other peasants and the civilians and the ones with the silly rectangular head and the little face. I wanted to make my own. So that's how we've come to the Vagabond you see before you right here. And he's a very straightforward character in terms of like story or anything like that. He's just a traveling warrior who happens to be at the kingdom of the time of the story and all that fun stuff. So he shows up and I made him pretty cool. So he's a combination of a few things here. He's a recolor and retouch of the Saracens outfit. I kind of gave it a more peasant coloring with the clothing and especially the hat and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to make a little earthy looking fella, like he wouldn't feel out of place in the kingdom or among any of the other peasants or civilians that would show up in like the marsh, anything like that. I think he fit right in. I like him quite a bit. I like in his simplicity. I like him. He's got a little beard right here, and his spiky yellow hair, and his little hat, and I guess the more unique part of his design is I gave him a little battle damaged or well used axe on his back. And I thought that'd be cool, it's not like a banner that you typically see. It's a little weapon. He's well traveled and experienced in using different weapons and all that kind of thing. And since he's a vagabond, he would be traveling with all of his stuff on him. So there's his other weapon, alongside his signature one, which is just it's just the kind of the shovel, tool turned into a sword. Just because I wanted to do a usable shovel sword weapon, and I thought he'd be the perfect fit for it. Just kind of his general rough aesthetic and all that kind of thing. I think it's perfect. He's a good boy. Nice villager, visual guy right here. That was what I really wanted to go for. Is that he's a little more uh, prepared and equipped than your average peasant. But he's still kind of in the like kingdom civilian tier. I think I got that to come across pretty strongly here. But yeah, this is the little vagabond, and we're gonna move on from his in-game design to his portrait. And I gave him a little bit of sass here, but just a nice smirk, a little peace sign. He's holding the the axe on his back in the pose here. Nice and fun. That's all I wanted it to be. Just you know, as simple as his design roots are. Just a nice little pose, unique stuff to it. So it's not just a complete like reskin of stuff we've already seen before. It's a nice, it's its own thing. I like it a lot. It's the general theme for this showcase is just kind of the straightforward guy that I made. I wanted to do a simpler human character that didn't have as much of the crazier armor, that kind of stuff, because there's more. I have other human characters that aren't armored coming as well, so I wanted to bulk out the selection a little bit with some unarmored people, or at least they don't have a helmet. So yeah, this is his little portrait. I love the vibe. I like it quite a bit. The shading I did here just to give him some nice tired eyes. I like it. He's well traveled, and and a good fella. I like him. Moving on from his portrait, we got his back off barbarian sprite, and this was a fun one. I took one of his face assets that actually be in the game and threw that on the an edited Saracen body. He's holding his iconic axe. He's got his hat, and he's a running. He's a running in his little pose. Yeah, he's his own little guy. I don't have too much to say for this one because he's definitely um the simplest I think in terms of design. He's a dude, but it's good to have a range of design from the more simple you get more complex, get a nice range of options going, and I wanted to do just kind of a dude, you know. And I think he's a very strong example of just making a guy. Um, but yeah, he's awesome. I love his little run and pose here. He's a good boy. But even the simplest of fellows can bring about great change in their life, much like what happens to this guy if he were to eat a sandwich. And this is what would happen. Bada boom! So he's a tank in this form. And this is where I had some fun with it. Because again, this is since I used the Saracen as the base for his normal form, I figured it would be, you know, convenient for me, but also just smart to kind of carry it over to the beefy version as well. So we got that recolor and somewhat edit going on here, but we got the big axe. In my mind, in a perfect game design world where I'd be able to do whatever I want, I would love it if he, as like a boss or just something unique, he would be able to like pick. He'd have like his giant battle axe in his hands and he's swinging it and all that kind of stuff. Just something to really give him his like one unique move. But in this he's got a giant. The axe grows with him, which I think is silly, but it's also quite cool and fitting because it just gives him a giant silhouette, and it's got some crazy shapes, and it's like he looks pretty imposing in this mode. Like he would be a character that would be pretty cool if he just showed up as beefy and just looked like this. Like that would be pretty sweet. Like this guy has this giant axe and is swole as heck. Like that'd be awesome. You know. So that's where I kind of ended up on this beefy design here. He's pretty cool. You know, just good vibes all around. Just a nice regular dude. But alongside this fella, we got some more custom stuff. So we'll start with the shovel blade. The blade, I just wanted to make a good weapon with a shovel because I love the shovel item in the game, and I figured it'd be kind of neat if there was a way to use it as a regular sword. So I made it pretty good, I think. You know, all positives. Some nice health increase, good damage increase, and a little agility as a bonus. Nice strong weapon. I'd want people to use a cool ass shovel blade, and yeah, it kind of gives him more and more of his own thing. So I wanted him to be a guy, but still have enough to him that kind of makes him feel like his own character and not just a reskin of the peasant or the civilian, you know. And him coming in with a bloodied, sharpened shovel, I think that does the trick a bit. Of course, there's inherent references to stuff like Shovel Knight. You know, it's he's got that iconic weapon here too. So, yeah, I wanted to make a strong weapon with a design I liked, and that's where we end up with the shovel blade. So, I actually did make an animal orb to go along with him, and again, it really just kind of this for this week. It's a very simple character, and I apologize if it's not the most bombastic or interesting, but I wanted to have this range, and I really like him. I like how straightforward he is while still having a lot of his own design elements that kind of make him stick out, because he's got a little bit of facial hair. He's kind of like the blacksmith, just less. He's got his little weapon on his back. He's got a hat. All this kind of stuff. I wanted him to have his own vibe, but he's not adventuring alone. He has the support of a certain holy figure, and that's Saint Cluck. I don't know where this design came to me. But I just thought it'd be funny if there was a chicken like religious leader. I thought that'd be powerful, and so here we have Saint Cluck. His book says pray because that's what you'll need to do if you ever encounter him. But he's got his his popish hat, his saintly attire. Um, and in spirit of being a chicken, I made him kind of just a better version of the chicken animal lord that's already in the game. He gives a hearty boost to strength, defense, and agility. Um, just yeah, his he's an advanced form of the chicken, empowered by the love of God, I suppose. Uh, but yeah, just a fun little funky design, just perfect. Especially, I think, in comparison to this somewhat average Joe, he's followed around by a religious leader that's a fucking chicken. I think that's incredible. Oh, look at him. He's a charming little guy with many secrets to tell you. But yeah, he's a nice. It becomes a nice duo, I think. But yeah, this will wrap it up for the Vagabond and his trusty companion. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is not as crazy a week for the series, but I wanted to change gears a little bit because a lot of the characters that have come out are they've got such iconic armor, and if they're not in armor, they got a really iconic face. It's a lot of one way with the design. So I wanted to kind of broaden broaden the scope of what kind of characters you can expect me to make. Where like sometimes it'll be a more down to earth, just kind of a guy with some junk, and his little friend coming along with him. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the Vagabond, and I hope you guys will stick around for more. And I hope you'll be excited for the next one because that's gonna be and I don't mind putting the teaser here for this one, but that one's gonna be the Queen. I'm gonna be doing the Queen after this one comes out, so look forward to that because I'm very excited for you guys to see my design for the hypothetical Queen of the Kingdom. But with all that aside, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.